Hello, ni hao ma. So today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin. There was some big news today out regarding China. The Agricultural Bank of China, which is one of the biggest banks in China, came out with a statement and said, anyone that is involved in the process of transactions regarding cryptocurrency, buying, selling, any kind of record of that on the system, from today, we are going to terminate your bank account. Yeah. So this was some big news that came out of China, and that's obviously had an effect on the price of Bitcoin. But what we need to work out is what is next. Because if we can know what's going to happen next, then that's how we can take advantage of this situation. So let's go back in time. Let's look at a few things. We know almost every year there is always some kind of negative news out of China regarding Bitcoin. Yeah? They ban it, they unban it, ban it, they unban it. For me personally, I'm looking at the bigger picture. I'm thinking years. I'm not concerned about what happens in a few days or a few weeks. I'm concerned about the big picture. The reason is, secretly, I am bullish on Bitcoin in the big picture. Because if we look at the stock to flow chart, we know using this chart that in 2026, the price of one Bitcoin can very likely be $1 million. But along that journey to that $1 million mark, there's going to be a lot of volatility, right? So regarding this news story, I'm seeing this as a buying opportunity. I don't think that China is just going to permanently ban Bitcoin. What I think they're doing now is, obviously there is some money laundering going on, and the Chinese government, being what they are, effectively they are more of an authoritarian communist regime, not so much communist, but more authoritarian, and they just want to control everything. So if there's a lot of people, private entities that are making a lot of money, well, I don't think they're just going to let these groups of people make a lot of money. They want part of the action themselves, right? So I think part of it is banning Bitcoin mining so they can later regulate it. Yeah. So this is the thing. We had that news story last week with the whole ban on Bitcoin mining, which had a big effect on price. Some people, they like to shrug it off and be like, oh, it's nothing. Other miners can take over. Sure, other miners can take over, but that has an effect on the price, because the price of anything is dictated by two factors, right? You have the buyer and the seller, supply and demand. So the thing is, when they remove these other miners from the Bitcoin network, it means that the mining difficulty of Bitcoin, it can basically drop down, because there are less miners on the network. Yeah. And suddenly, for those miners that are outside of China, this is great news for them. Great news that China banned mining Bitcoin, because it means they've got a bigger share of that pie for mining themselves. But what that also encourages, say if the miners were mining Ethereum or some other kind of protocols on the blockchain, on cryptocurrency, they will switch to what is the most profitable token, currency, whatever you want to call it, to mine, which could likely be Bitcoin now, because there are less Bitcoin miners in the world. China, after all, took nearly 50% of that pie of mining crypto. So what this all means, if I just try to keep it short, is China banning Bitcoin mining, it can cause the price to go down. Because if it encourages people to mine the Bitcoin that were not mining it before, and they can make a bigger profit margin by selling it. And they are smart. They know that this margin, this profit margin, is not going to be as wide as this forever, because eventually there'll be more and more miners that will come onto the network, and then this profit margin will go back to how it was before, at a normal gap. Yeah, I hope that makes some sense. So that's my take on the Bitcoin mining thing. I do see it as a pressure for why Bitcoin would stay down in the short term. I don't think it's going to cause it to go up. Certainly not. Yeah, so that's one story. Regarding China, this whole Agricultural Bank of China thing, when this statement went out, it was actually retracted quite quickly. So why is the market still down? The market is down because people are fearful, right? It's a psychology. You've got the psychology of the individual and you've got the psychology of the collective. And the collective psychology right now is very fearful of Bitcoin. So this piece of news, it's obviously put people in doubt. And I've actually decided to purchase some Bitcoin today. Yeah. So I used 2% of my account today to enter Bitcoin, Binance, Ethereum, and Ripple. Do I think we're just going to go up from here? I'm not God. I'm not a magician. All I have is just research, probability, and risk management. And what I'm using to base my risk management and probability on is something called a stock to flow chart. The stock to flow chart shows for Bitcoin that by the year 2026, we can be at 1 million US dollars. But along that way to that end point, we can have a lot of volatility. Yeah. And I'm not just going to put half my account into Bitcoin at $30,000 and then if the price goes to $8,000, be holding a big bag for a year, yeah, or 2 years. I'm not going to do that. So instead, I have my plan. My plan is today I purchase crypto, 2% of my account. If we drop lower, the next area where I would consider to invest in Bitcoin would be 25,000. And then for Ethereum, I think that's going to be around $1,500 if that is the case. And for Ripple, around 40 cents. And for Binance coin, between $150 and $200. Okay? That's the second buying level. The last buying level, where I will add more, is going to be for Bitcoin, 13,500, and for Ethereum around $600, and for Ripple, 20 cents, and for Binance coin, say what you want to say, $50. Okay, so I've got my strategy, just slowly entering the market because I recognize I cannot predict everything. All I have is risk management and probability, and I'm thinking big, 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 big picture. So the message I just want to say to all of you out there who are panicking, if you're panicking and stressing out, you shouldn't be. And if you are, there's probably a good reason for it. You're probably just in crypto. You're not in anything else. You haven't done good risk management. You haven't diversified yourself and you're risking too much money. That's the reason why you are panicking. So please take a step back, see the bigger picture, manage your risk, diversify, and then you're going to be able to sleep much better at night. If you want to make a lot of money from crypto, just look at this chart, stock to flow. See where the price is going in the future. And then use your energy not to be checking the chart every 5 minutes or be stressing out about what China is doing. Use that energy to earn more money from your business, from your job. Put your energy into those areas and then just slowly enter crypto. Just keep investing a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. I think that's a better use of your time. Really. So I hope you found this video useful. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up on YouTube, like, subscribe, and I hope to have more content coming out. So thank you. See you next time.